think two very broad approaches you could take to putting this very jazzy scale to work in your improvising. Firstly, for reasons that will emerge a little later in the lesson, you can simply think of it as a dominant scale. This means you can play it directly over any fifth chord in pretty much any chord progression. So, for example, in this 2-5-1 in F major, I could use the C half-whole diminished scale over the C ninth chord. And there's no harm in just blasting away at this, feeling your way as you go, like this. To calculate just how much weight to put on the notes of the diminished scale. So as I'm coming out of my G minor into the scale, I'm listening to hear where to sort of resolve the phrase as it comes back to F. And as long as you know your basic chord tones for the F6 major, F major 6 chord, that's your kind of safe ground. As long as you get to one of those by the end of the phrase, you'll probably make it come out okay. So that's improvising by winging it. A great exercise in itself for developing your core musical skills. But there are also some analytical approaches you can take with a scale like this that will encourage you to find some phrases you are less likely to just stumble upon when you're winging it. We start this analytical approach by looking at how the notes from the diminished scale match up with those from the basic C major scale. We can then start to see which specific chord types the scale suggests. For example, we can see that we have the roots, the major third, the fifth and the flatted seventh note. And this explains why we can classify this scale as a dominant scale, because it contains all the notes of a dominant seventh chord. So here's our one octave of the C dominant seventh arpeggio. We've got roots, third, fifth, flatted seventh, roots, and we look at that as being in the same space as our diminished scale. We can sort of see how we can use the chord tones as our sort of central fallback, if you like, and then add the extra notes from the diminished scale in. chord that pops out to me is the 7♯9 chord. This is made up of the dominant 7th chord, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, with the sharp 9 added. So we take our C7th arpeggio and simply add the sharp 9 to the top end there. This sound is something we associate very much with Jimi Hendrix, as he often used E7♯9 as the foundation for many of his sort of signature licks, that sort of thing. Sort of characteristic sound. But it's also an idea that's widely used in all areas of jazz. Using the basic shape for this chord and fitting our diminished scale around it produces some interesting ideas. I'm going to go back to my 2-5-1 backing track in F and blend some of these ideas in over the C9th chord. When you're trying this, start simply. Just map out the 3 main chords. So we've got a bit of G, minor, we've got C7, F. Then little by little, find the chords that we're thinking of using as our frameworks over the C9th bit. So we've got C7. Let's wait for it to come round. Here's our G. And we've also got C7♯9. And then little by little, feed in bits of that diminished scale. Just remind ourselves where it is. Right, here we go. So a bit of G, bit of C, bit of F. similar procedure, you could experiment with building licks around other dominant chords and altered dominant chords that the half-whole diminished scale offers up. The flat 5, the flat 9 and the 13th. Below this video screen you should find a link to the 251 backing track, so you can spend a bit of time working over some of these ideas yourself. If you found this little video useful, please do click on the like button if there is one, or leave a comment, and do feel free to share the video with your friends. And if you'd like to gain full access to all our guitar teaching materials, please visit the Secret Guitar Teacher site and take a free look round at what's available there. See you again soon.